In 2026, Lionel Messi isn't just the greatest footballer of all time. He is a billion-dollar global empire. With luxury mansions spanning Miami, Barcelona, and Rosario, a multi-million-dollar private jet, one of the most valuable car collections in sports, and business partnerships generating millions every year, Messi has transformed football greatness into generational wealth. His transition to Major League Soccer was never a retirement. It was a hostile takeover of a new market, the greatest business expansion in sports history. But what makes his story extraordinary isn't the empire he built. It's that it all began with a small boy in Rosario whose family struggled to afford the medical treatment needed to keep his dream alive. Today, that same boy has become the most influential athlete on the planet, a player whose name can move global markets and whose legacy has long outgrown the football pitch itself. Behind the 8 Ballon d'Ors and the legendary status of the Quiet King lies a lifestyle that defines the concept of majestic elite. In 2026, he doesn't just live in cities. He dominates their landscapes with a footprint built for absolute privacy and tactical recovery. His real estate empire, valued between $30 million and $300 million, is as expansive as his legacy, anchored by his $10 million waterfront mansion in Fort Lauderdale's Bay Colony, his sprawling villa in Casteldefels, and his fortress in Rosario. Beyond his private residences, he has diversified his empire through his luxury MIM hotels chain across Spain and Ibiza, strategic media ventures under 525 Rosario, and Playtime Sports, his Silicon Valley-based firm investing in sports tech, all while preparing for an expected ownership stake in Inter Miami following his retirement. To understand the scale of his success, you have to look at his mobility. His $15 to $20 million customized Gulfstream V, identifiable by the number 10 etched into the tail, is a flying recovery suite configured for 16 passengers. When he hits the water, he embraces the Mediterranean lifestyle, chartering elite mega yachts for annual retreats. When he touches down, the garage awaiting him is a multi-million-dollar monument to his success, valued at over $40 million. At the absolute center sits the undisputed crown jewel, the legendary 1957 Ferrari 335S Spider Scaglietti, purchased at auction for a staggering $36 million. Flanking it is the rare carbon titanium Pagani Zonda Tricolor, a $2 million hypercar built to honor Italy's aerobatic team. His collection is rounded out by the iconic Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG, the precision-tuned Maserati Gran Turismo MC Stradale, and a sleek Ferrari F430 Spider. Yet, for his daily life, Messi pivots to a fleet defined by comfort and security, including his supercharged Range Rover Vogue and Sport, a twin-turbo Bentley Bentayga, a high-tech Cadillac Escalade, a rolling lounge for his children, and a high-performance Audi RS6 Avant. Yet, this billion-dollar blueprint wasn't built in the climate-controlled luxury of a modern academy. It was forged in the clinical struggle of Rosario. Born on June 24, 1987, the boy who suffered from growth hormone deficiency and moved across the ocean at 13 has never forgotten the grit required to survive. His story didn't start with a multi-million-dollar endorsement. It started on a paper napkin in a Barcelona restaurant, now the most valuable piece of sports memorabilia in existence. That early hustle, characterized by a lethal silence and an absolute commitment to the craft, is what allowed him to pivot from a kid who couldn't afford medicine to the defending World Cup champion, playing in his own backyard during the 2026 tournament in the United States. His professional career has been a singular pursuit of perfection, a relentless climb through Barcelona's youth ranks to become the club's greatest ever player, followed by his tactical reinvention in Paris and his ultimate American expansion. But the defining moment of his professional life arrived in 2022. For years, the World Cup was the one ghost that haunted him, the missing piece of the puzzle that critics used to cast doubt on his throne. When Argentina lifted that trophy in Qatar, it wasn't just a win. It was the final validation of his life's work. He didn't just play in a World Cup final. He orchestrated it, leading a nation through fire and bringing home the gold that solidified his status as the undisputed GOAT. Away from the deafening noise of the stadiums, the version of Messi the world never sees is a man anchored by an unbreakable human foundation: his life with Antonella Rocuzzo. Childhood sweethearts from Rosario, their bond began long before his fame. Beyond the luxury, they are deeply committed to service. Messi has served as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador for over 16 years, and his Leo Messi Foundation remains a global leader in funding pediatric oncology research and education for vulnerable children. In 2025, his humanitarian legacy was cemented with the U.S. Presidential Medal of Freedom, an honor reflecting the depth of his impact beyond the pitch. In an industry defined by chaos and fleeting fame, Messi has maintained a life of total stability. He has built a private world where the GOAT is simply a father, shielding his children from the paparazzi while instilling in them the same discipline that took him from Rosario to the stars. He didn't follow the rules of the game. He became the game itself. From the dirt pitches of South America to the neon skyline of Miami, every touch was a calculation, and every goal was a statement of intent. He arrived in football as a gifted child. He leaves it as a global institution. And even in 2026, Lionel Messi continues to prove that greatness isn't measured by trophies, money, or records alone. It's measured by how long the world remembers your name after you've changed the game forever.